Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students and honorable guardians, welcome to my online class. Today I am with you and I am going to deliver a new lecture on a grammatical topic. I hope you shall be with me. Students, I am Muhammad Abul Qasim, assistant teacher of English, Salaisa Government Girls High School, Shirazgunj. Students, look at the picture. What are you seeing? This is a picture of a tree. This is a punctuation tree. The tree bears a lot of symbols instead of fruits. What an amazing tree it is, I think. Have you ever seen such a tree? I think you have not. Students, we have to know the definition and usefulness of punctuation. What is punctuation? What is the usefulness of punctuation? You need to know it. If you do not know the usefulness of punctuation, you will not be able to build up a sentence correctly. So first of all, the definition of punctuation. Punctuations are the symbol of signs and symbols that show a reader how a sentence is organized and constructed, where to stop and where to read and how to write a sentence. These are used to make sense and clarity in sentences. Students, read the passage. I think this is quite impossible to go through the text. Why? This is because there is no punctuation marks and capitalization given in the text. So it is quite impossible for a reader to read a passage or text while there is no punctuation marks and capital letters. Mind that capital letters also are part of punctuation marks. Punctuation marks and capitalization are included in the same way. Students, if we read the above passage at once, we will not understand where to stop, where to pause, and how long to pause. It makes no sense. So, to make a good sense or clear sense, you need to use punctuation marks in the right place. Students, more or less, there are 14 important punctuation marks in English grammar. They are the full stop, the question mark, quotation or speech marks, the apostrophe, the comma, the hyphen, the dash, the exclamation mark, the colon, the semicolon, parenthesis, brackets, slash, and so on. Students, again, see some punctuation marks without their names. It is very important to know the names of punctuation marks. Students, here you find some punctuation marks with their names. Give a look at the box. Students, now you are to say the sign or marks of the punctuation. Number 1, this is interrogation mark. Number 2, it is called at sign. Number 3, this is a full stop. Number 4, this is exclamation mark. Students, we see more signs or marks. Number 5, this is clone. Number 6, inverted commas. Number 7, semicolon. Number 8, comma. Students, our today's lesson is rules of punctuation marks. I hope you will enjoy the class very attentively. First of all, rules of full stop. You know that full stop is the largest breakdown of sentence. Full stop is known to us by 2 ways. In British grammar, it is called full stop, whereas in American language, full stops are called period. There are some rules of using full stop. Here are some. To mark the end of a sentence, that is a complete statement. Here is an example. Dhaka is an old city in Bangladesh. In some abbreviation, we need to use full stop. In a website and email address, we use full stop. Here, full stop is called dot. Like this, www.mithu.com. Students, we have more rules of full stop. At the end of indirect question, we use full stop. At the end of a sentence, except interrogative sentence, for 4 kinds of sentence, we use full stop, whereas we use question mark in the case of interrogative sentence. So, except interrogative sentence, for other 4 kinds of sentence, we use full stop. Students, our today's rule is about comma. If you want to put comma in the right place, you must know some rules and you need to practice the rules. To separate a clause or phrase at the beginning of the sentence from the independent clause, you must use comma after phrase or clause. For express appositive case, we use comma. When the apposition comes first, we use only on comma. Here is an example. Our national poet, this is an apposition. So at the beginning of a sentence, if we find apposition, we will use a comma before the main sentence. In the same way, when the apposition is after the subject, Nazrul Islam, our national poet. Here Nazrul Islam is subject, our national poet is an apposition, and it is after the subject. So in the case of apposition, after subject we will put two commas to separate a reported speech. We must use comma. Mother said to me, comma, you must exercise early rising. Here we find two parts for this narrative style. To separate the speech, we will use comma. In the same way, to express the same type of words, we will use comma. After yes, no, when we will find yes or no at the very beginning of a sentence, we must use comma after yes or no. Students, now we come to the another punctuation marks, inverted commas. This is very interesting to use inverted commas. Students, you are to know how to use inverted commas. To highlight direct speech in narrative style, we need inverted commas. We also need inverted commas to write the name of a book. Here is an example. Hamlet is a masterpiece of Shakespeare. Hamlet is the name of a book, so it is closed by inverted commas. Hamlet is the greatest creation by Shakespeare. The word Hamlet means small village. In the same way, to mention a proverb, we can use inverted commas. Inverted commas are a very important punctuation mark in English grammar. Students, look at the screen and we will find some pictures, some images. You have already got the idea. Let's discuss the rules of exclamation mark. We need to know how to use exclamation marks to express or to show emotion, emphasis, or surprise. We use exclamation mark in the case of exclamatory sentence. Here are some examples. What a beautiful flower the rose is. How strange the man is. If I were a child again, would that I could be a doctor. Were I a poet, had I the power of a magician. All are exclamatory sentence. So after exclamation sentence, we definitely use exclamation marks. Students, in the same way, after an interjectional word, we are to use interjectional. For the case of interjectional word, we need to use exclamation mark. Look, the sky is clear. Stop, the baby is sleeping. Yes, I have got the idea. Look, stop, yes are interjectional words. So after interjectional word, we should use exclamation marks. Students, there are also other rules. At the end of a strong command, we use exclamation marks. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. Shut up. be off my sight, stop. In this way, we can use exclamation mark while we work with grammatical items. Students, we need to know how to use exclamation marks in the right position. If you want to use punctuation marks properly, you need to practice them once and again. Your appropriate exercise of punctuation marks will make you clear where they are to use. Students, now we go to another punctuation mark. This is note of interrogation. The interrogation mark is used to complete sentence from a direct question. In the case of interrogative sentence, we use note of interrogation or question marks. Here are 3 examples. Have you had your breakfast? Where are you doing? Where are you going? We are a peaceful nation, aren't we? The last one is a tag question. Question is of 3 kinds: yes, no question, WH question, and tag question. Yes, no question starts with auxiliary verb. WH question starts with WH word, and tag question is given after a statement. This is an uncommon type of question. So, question is of 3 kinds: yes, no question, WH question, and finally tag question. Students, rules of using apostrophe comma. Here are some rules. If you want to write possessive case, then there is a need of apostrophe. This is Nila's book. Nila is a proper noun. Nilas stands for a possessive case. So before S, we use apostrophe S. For plural possessive case, we will put apostrophe S after apostrophe comma after S. Women's college, girls school, boys school. In this case, we will put apostrophe after plural form of common noun. Woman, this is a common noun. This is a plural form. So we need to put a apostrophe comma before S after the common noun, after the plural form of common noun, and before S we will use apostrophe comma. In the same way, there is an example. This is a children's book. Here children is a plural form, so we will use apostrophe comma after the plural form. Students, it is true that this is a fact that it seems easy to write punctuation marks and capitalization, but it is not so that. If you do not know the rules properly, you will not be able to use them appropriately. So if you want to use punctuation marks and capital letters in the right place, you must be careful of using them. For contraction, we use apostrophe comma. Do not the form of a sentence is of two kinds: contracted form and non-contracted form. Contracted form refers to the short form, where a word or words will remain silent. Do not. This is full form. It is called non-contracted form. If we turn the non-contracted form into contracted form, we will write don't. Here, O is omitted. In the same way, for the case of letters, we write let's. Here, there is no use of S here. S is omitted to build up contracted form. For abbreviation, for plural abbreviation, we also use apostrophe comma. Students, the use of apostrophe comma is very interesting and confusing. So you should be careful while using apostrophe comma. There is a chance of committing mistake in using apostrophe comma. Students, see three exceptional symbols. These are called digital punctuation marks. The first one is dot. The middle one is at sign, which is read at the rate of. The final one is the slash. These three punctuation marks are used for our digital content. Students, to find a link, an email address, website, we need dot, at sign, or slash in our digital purposes. www.google.com/ the another email address imrantahid@gmail.com. Students, I hope you are clear to my class. My suggestion is to you that you must practice the rules of punctuation. The more you practice punctuation marks, the more you practice the rules of punctuation marks, the more you will be able to use them appropriately in different circumstances. So practice is a must. Students, let's use punctuation and capitalization for the text. Students, here is a text without punctuation and capitalization. Without punctuation and capitalization, it is quite impossible to read out a passage clearly. Here lies the importance of punctuation and capitalization. If you are not able to put punctuation marks in the right places, it will be absolutely impossible to express the meaning or sense of the passage. So when we put punctuation marks and capitalization in the right places, it will be meaningful. Students, try to put try to use punctuation marks where they are needed. Here is the answer. The given passage was without punctuation marks and it was difficult for you to understand. When we use punctuation marks, this is quite possible to us understand clearly. So we need punctuation marks to clarify our grammatical purposes. Students, no more today. I shall be with you later in the next class with new topic. By the way, thanks, all the best.